Let's start again. All right. So, where were we? Okay. I'm Yaman. These are my products. I have uh, bath crystals, face scrubs, shampoo bars, miracle cream. Love to tell you all about it. In fact, in the weeks to come, I'm gonna make a video for each one of them, so you know what's going on, how to use it, and all that good stuff. Today, I want to talk to you about relationships. I promised my wife that I would make a video on it. She said I should have made a video a long time ago, and hopefully I'll get better at making some videos. But I do want to talk to you about relationships. Um, you know, it always makes it easy if you marry your best friend. That makes it a lot easier, doesn't it? But we have a tendency, even when we have that, to screw up those relationships. Um, so, what makes a good relationship? Well, I'm going to start off by talking to the guys because we have a big role in this. So, I'm not picking on us guys, but I do need to tell you what's up. So, listen, guys, we are responsible for setting the tone for the relationship. Now, I know it's a big responsibility. Seems a little bit unfair. And I'm sure you say, well, what do you mean? Doesn't the girl have 50% of this? Um, yeah, well, the girl does have her part. And other parts that she has to bring to the relationship that we can't. But we are responsible for setting the tone of the relationship or the male figure of the relationship. Let's just put it that way. Now, um, what does that mean? Set the tone for the relationship. Um, I guess I guess the best way of putting it is we're responsible for making the woman feel like we like them. Sounds kind of weird, huh? You know, guys, that's all a woman really wants is that she just wants her man. She just wants her man. She wants her to dig him. She wants her guy to be interested in him, like you were when you first started dating. You know, we act like we don't know what to do, but we sure know what to do when we're dating. In fact, I think men are extremely charming when they're dating. Yet somehow we lose it um, once we're either married or so used to the relationship that we just get lost in our everyday maleness. But we are responsible for setting the tone. And let me tell you something, guys. They're looking. Women are reciprocal beings. They'll respond. You know, if we're happy in a relationship, they're generally going to be happy in a relationship. If we're kind of a bummer or down all the time, they're probably going to be bummed and down all the time. That's kind of being kind of that's not very detailed, but kind of gives you an idea. What happens though is as we kind of like start taking them for granted, we start showing less and less, maybe not affection, but less and less like we give a damn about them. I mean, a woman always wants to know, does he still love me? And when we're not setting the atmosphere for that, it's not conducive to a good, healthy relationship. So how do we set the atmosphere? How do we set the tone? Well, I can give an example. How many men out there like it when your woman comes to you and says, "We need to talk"? Raise your hand. No, guys don't like it. They don't like to talk. But so when we're in the talk, we usually get either defensive, or we get loud, or we're just like, "Oh no, what are you talking about? I don't do that." I mean, we get mad. And what happens is that's setting the tone for the relationship. That's setting the tone for when your woman knows that when she needs to come to you, she doesn't want to come to you. She doesn't want to come because she doesn't want to hear it. She doesn't want to be yelled at or belittled or talked down to or what have you. Um, that's setting a tone. That's just one little thing. Um, when we're not if we're not oh, let's see here. And now I can edit this, so I don't care how long it takes me to figure out what I want to say. But um, if we're not actually showing in our actions and the way we respond with them that we care about them, if our actions show more that we're taking them for granted, they're going to pick up on it. Women are amazing. They can just hone in on this stuff. Now, if we go back to where I was saying, if you want to have the talk, now that's a point where the women, you have a responsibility. I always like to say, women, you need to train your man. If you don't train your man, you get what you get. Because guys don't really care. You got to train them. That's why you have the talk in the first place. It's training. And we listen. We do listen. Now, you'll notice that maybe after a while we'll start to try something, one of the things that you're talking to us about, and it usually lasts maybe like a couple of days or a week, and you'll be like, the guy will be like, didn't I do that for a week? Yeah, you did it for a week, whatever. But that's training. And guys, those talks are our training, yet we don't want to listen, and we're setting the atmosphere saying, listen, don't come to me with training because you can't come to me with that stuff because I'm going to get mad at you. No, I'll tell you what the atmosphere should be. When a woman comes, when your spouse or your partner comes to you in confidence on something that's on their mind, you should create an atmosphere where she can literally talk to you about it and feel comfortable and feel like you're going to give a fair assessment and see her side. That's what you should do. And that's the type of atmosphere you should provide. You'd be surprised what kind of talks and what you can learn in an atmosphere like that. So, guys, do you feel like your woman has dropped off from when you first started dating? Well, it's probably because you dropped off and she reacted to you. Remember, women are reciprocal beings, so they will respond. So, why don't you do an experiment and pretend like you're dating and do the things that you did. Like, you know what you did when you were dating? It wasn't the things that you did. It's the way that you did them. You dug her. You were into her. You were interested in her. You looked her in the eyes. You called her all the time. Almost like you were infatuated with her. That's setting a tone. And most guys set it when they're dating and they drop off probably 30 to 40% easy. Why don't you just drop off 5% and keep that enthusiasm about your woman? You'd be surprised at what kind of woman you'd have. You'd be surprised. There's a lot I would like to talk about, but when we came into this puppet skin as men and women, there's certain traits that a male puppet skin carries, and there's certain traits that a female puppet skin carries. Mars and Venus, like the book says, we really are from different planets, men and women. But it's amazing how well relationships work when the woman knows that her guy digs her and has respect for her and actually wants to see her and talk to her, as opposed to almost saying, hey, can we just spend some time together? And you go and you spend time out of obligation. You think they can't pick up on that? They hate that. They'd rather you not spend time with them at all. It's almost patronizing. We have a lot to talk about, guys, and I can only do so much time on a video, and I promise I can help your relationships. I promise. We just need to get into it in several videos, and maybe I can answer a few questions, because it works better when I talk one-on-one with people and the questions that they ask. It's better to give them direct answers for that, and I happen to have helped some relationships. They said that I should be doing videos, so here it is. help out as much as they can. But listen, guys, we need to realize that we set the tone for the relationship. That's our job. Whether you think it's fair or not, it doesn't matter. It just is. Life isn't fair. You know, you can sit here and complain about your life every day, but guess what? Every day you get up, you set your life in motion. Every day you get up, you make a decision of how your life is going to be. You can always go left if you want, but what if one day you decide to go right? It's up to you. You can do anything you want at any time in life. It's up to us. So we set our life in motion every day. Well, guess what? We're setting the tone for the relationships every day. And I'm telling you, the female puppet skin cannot help but watch and respond off of what the male puppet skin is doing to set the tone for the relationship. So whether you believe it or not, you might as well get with the program because it's how it works. So I'm going to leave it at that. I'm going to leave it at that for today, and I'll elaborate on the next video. Yaman. Let me see. What's a good one? I will have to have a good one for Yaman out. We'll see you later.